This day's been a long time coming. We are installing about a quarter-mile of 4-inch French drains here on the property. It's actually a larger infrastructure project that will include electric lines, Ethernet lines, water lines, basically letting us kind of run power to a greater area, as well as keep the ponds full, and most importantly, keep the drainage from destroying this driveway every single time it rains heavy. And then we'll actually be able to build up from there. So we've been kind of limited on what we can do to fix this problem or to dress it up, because once it rains, you gotta start all over again. So we're gonna do it right this time. We've got our little Yanmar tractor over there. I went with that one because it's got a 12-inch bucket on the back. It's not the perfect choice. Let's take a look at it. Ideally, you'd want to use probably a mini excavator and a skid steer or a dingo to do this kind of work, but I only wanted to rent one piece of equipment. So this is the biggest biggest tractor you can get with the small enough backhoe, 12-inch bucket. It's a Yanmar 424 with that YL210 front end loader. Never used this machine before. We'll see how it works. It was important to me to get that smaller bucket because we want a 12 by 12 trench. Good old Home Depot. Lots of hose. Quick example of what it does when it rains. It doesn't look that bad on the camera, but that's a significant valley running through that part of the driveway. It all comes from up here on the hill. It comes off our neighboring property, off that little terrace, comes down the driveway here, and by the time it gets to here, that water is moving. So we're going to try to catch it up here. We're going to try to catch it here, and hopefully we can slow it down. We've done a lot of trenching with this thing the last 2 days, all the way around the property. This 12-inch wide bucket, we're doing a 12-inch trench deep. We've gotten down to 2 feet, goes all the way clear across. It does a good job in dirt, sandy loam, your standard run-of-the-mill backyard, it's fine. When you get into rocky soil, I got into some clay hard pack over here, and it was absolutely miserable. In fact, I didn't think we were going to get through, and we're borderline on depth, but we're going to go back and clean it out with a Maddox and pick. So if you have minor green grass digging to do, this thing will do the job. If you have rocky clay soil, don't get it. Do something else. Get a backup plan. It has handled roots well. However, let me take you down yonder to the yonder way, and I'll show you what some of the root situations are. Are you dizzy yet? Because I am. But all in all, she's done a pretty good job. All the way up to the gate. So this is a pretty good view. You can see one end of the furthest south kind of arm of the drainage funnel, and here's the most northern, and there's a network of branches that kind of tie into the two main trunk lines, and then we'll have our third line coming from the primary pond. Everything funneling, channeling down into the secondary retention pond that will overflow into the moat down below, so you can kind of see we're kind of just trying to grab everything the rain gives us, funnel it down here. We're going to enlarge that hopefully this week too, before we overflow down yonder ways. I think it's at 13 tons per truck. No, yeah. What do y'all think? We got the non-woven fabric, landscape fabric in. You can see here we've got a little bit of a riser pipe. One thing I wanted to point out, see that little self-tapper sheet metal screw? We've found that some of these connections, these Ys are pretty good. They click and lock. Those catch basins, 6-inch catch basins that have outlets on both sides, or an inlet and an outlet, those do not click in well. So you can tape them, I guess. I think a little self-tapper works pretty good. See where we've made it so far. That doesn't look like there's a lot of rock there. That's because that trench I dug way too deep. You can see here, we'll put in 4 or 5 inches of rock on top of this. Fold it over. The trench looks narrow, but it's 12 by 12. That fabric is a little misleading. Get ready to work today. I hit the septic line. I didn't show that fix. I had to repair that this morning. Catch basin, catch basin. We're going to do a filtered, screened catch basin on the gutter. And go around that way. See that? That's a 10-foot long 5x5 I-beam that was buried in the ground. Jackpot. It's in great condition. All right, let's do some rock work. Like it? Yeah. What? Are you going to get them on the side of the track? Wait a minute. Let's say I don't think we went in the hole. Wait a minute. Good? Yeah. Back it up, back it up. Okay. Enough. Is that enough to spread down this way too? No, you better do some more. Okay. This is a little bit better indicator of what we're working with here. Got a catch basin there. Got a catch basin there. This is the primary erosion point. So we're going to build a ridge across, a little terrace with a crown. Water's going to shed this way, water's going to shed this way, and water's going to be stopped by the high point. And that water is just going to shimmy jimmy right down to the new pond. Woo! I didn't mean to say that. All right. You get the gist of it. This is a combination of internet research procedure, the French drain guy who's got a popular YouTube channel. There's another guy, French apple drains. You might be noticing that we're doing a little bit of a hybrid system here. We're using perforated 4-inch pipe in the fabric and gravel burrito, but we're also using the catch basins. Now, the French drain guy says that you don't need catch basins if you're using perforated pipe. I cannot confirm nor deny if that's true, but if the perforated pipe is good and catch basins are good, they've got to be better together, I would think. Also, it's kind of just a hedging my bets kind of thing. I definitely have some shallow spots where I know rainwater likes to target, so I'm just being safer than sorry here. I don't want to be sorry, so I'm being safe. Okay, we're gonna fold that over, pin it, put the dirt on top, water it lightly, whatever. I lost my helper. Henry had to go pick up a grandkiddo. So one little tip I picked up, if you're doing this by yourself, it's kind of hard the way the fabric dances in the wind. So I got some metal bar, rebar would work, PVC pipe would work, and I've got them spaced out each bucket load, and it holds the liner open and it lines me up where I need to go. So I can go up, dump half a bucket, back up, go up, dump half a bucket, and I'll just move them down. You can kind of see, it takes a little cleanup, so it takes a little bit longer, but if you're by yourself, this is a little more time-friendly way to do it. Hey Yanmar, why are you rolling? Park brake is engaged. Quit. I'm not gonna chase you down the hill. So it's about 5 days since we finished. I say finished. We got to a stopping point to kind of assess where we're at. We got a good heavy downpour this morning for about 2 hours. And everything looks good except for the spot where we've always had the biggest problem with washouts, and that's right here in this part of the driveway. Unfortunately, that elevated atrium drain grate just packed with leaves. Water went over the little rock dam, and we still got some mild erosion. Same thing over here. That drain cover, which I want to get one of the atrium tops for, completely packed with leaves, washed the sand out, and it went down the road. You can kind of see better here. So if the drainage system had not been installed, this would have just been a complete disaster. One interesting thing I wanted to show you though. So where the water overtook the sand dam and started to run down here, you can see that that damage is completely stopped right here. And that's actually where that perforated corrugated line runs to the second set of lines on that side of the property. So that actually, even though there's no catch basin, completely stopped that water from moving. It dropped it and then sent it down to the pond there. So you don't need catch basins necessarily, but in this case you can see why they are still important in my application. So I'm going to dress this up. We're going to build the wall up a little bit higher, and then I don't know what we're gonna do. We gotta catch those leaves somehow. So we collected a little bit of water, obviously not much. The two pipes are, you can only see one of them, the two pipes come out right here. And you can tell it obviously flowed in. Not a whole lot of water. Um, kind of expected there to be more because it rained so hard, but who knows? I'm sure the ground absorbed a lot of it, but eventually I'm going to build this up a little bit, have a little bit of a rock shelf where the water will kind of waterfall in. And then I've got to continue to dig this out and dress it up a little bit. But I think here's where we will end it. We've got some homework to do, but for the most part, the install is complete. Just gonna take a little bit of tweaking. Thanks for watching.